What happens at the moment of death? It's worth exploring. Hands and feet, they become cold. Haven't you felt this when someone is dying? You'll notice that hands and feet will suddenly become cold. The soul takes an exit either through the eyes or through the ears or through mouth, and the eyes are turned backward. Aren't we all fascinated by this question? What happens after death? What becomes of me? Don't we ponder also, what was I before I was born? So somewhere I must have died in the past. So when I die now, I'll become someone, something. And this circle goes on and on and on, unless, of course, this new mechanism which yogis have invented, from their experiences they have claimed that there is a state that is of a liberation or a moksha. And what happens to an individual soul that is liberated? Does it mean he will not be incarnated again? Not really. True liberation is where you have total freedom, absolute freedom of being born again or not. You may choose to be born or you may choose not to be born again. See? Time is a big thing. In Gita, Lord Krishna says, Kalosmi, meaning I am time. Time creates and time alone kills. This is the inevitable law of time. What happens at the moment of death? It's worth exploring. When death is about to come, first of all, the element of earth is withdrawn from the basic plexus. We call this plexus as Muladhara Chakra. And once this earth element is withdrawn from Muladhara Chakra, it moves up to Swadhisthana Chakra, hypogastric plexus. This is the place of water element. The earth element is then converted into water. Hands and feet, they become cold. Haven't you felt this when someone is dying? You'll notice that hands and feet will suddenly become cold. This is the dissolution of water. Then, when water is withdrawn from the hypogastric plexus or Swadhisthana Chakra and is accumulated here at the solar plexus in the region of our navel or Nabhi Chakra, it then becomes fire. The region above the navel, above, it will become warmer. This is the dissolution of fire. Then the fire is gradually withdrawn and moves upward to cardiac plexus, Anahata or Hridaya Chakra, where it meets with air, mixes with air of the heart region. And the whole body, it begins to tremble. This is the dissolution of the air element. After that, the air of the cardiac plexus is withdrawn to the ether element, and it somehow dissolves the element which is present at Kanta Chakra or pharyngeal plexus. There, a sound is produced at this Visuddhi Chakra. With this sound, once the sound is produced, what happens? The soul takes an exit either through the eyes or through the ears or through mouth, and the eyes are turned backward. Now the element of Brahman, which is found in the individual soul, is also withdrawn. This is at this point, precisely the eyes, they turn back and now they merge in the Virat element. If the soul is liberated, then mixing with the Virat element becomes possible after exiting from Brahmarandra, which is from the back, where generally, you must have seen elderly people of bygone days used to keep a choti or a ponytail on the back. Exactly there, this Brahmarandra is. Liberated souls, they exit from this particular point. Unfortunately, tradition holds on to this idea so strongly that even after death, even when the body is totally burnt and some parts of skull remains, they will smash it. And they smash it in such a way that the soul gets to leave from this 12th or the Brahmarandra chakra. But this is inhuman, this is violent. A liberated soul doesn't need such a blow from heavy instruments. It just evaporates, it just transcends automatically at that very moment of death and mixes or merges with the Virat element. So this is in brief what really happens at the moment of death, and depending upon the vibratory level of our Atman. If it is Sattvic, there too there is a whole spectrum of Sattvikta. If it is Tamasic, there is a spectrum of Tamasikta. And if it is Rajasic, there is also a spectrum. To what extent is it Tamasic or Rajasic or Sattvic? And combination of it all, there is infinite possibilities, and accordingly there are infinite dimensions. So based on the vibratory level of the soul, it will reach out to that dimension. So in one way, when we are meditating, what generally happens? There are a few things. One is, you are beginning meditation with an idea that source of divine light is in my heart, or the divine light is present in my heart. Okay. Next thing, some thoughts may come and disturb this very pious idea. It goes away in some cases. Then what happens? You lose awareness at some time. And then what happens later on? You become aware that I have lost my awareness. Right? And sometime in some sittings, you are so much lost that you have no awareness of losing the awareness. And somehow from nowhere you come back. Right? It happens to lots of us. And that is almost a kind of a temporary death. And when that happens, some abhyasis, they get so scared and they just get up like that and say, what happened to me? And you must have heard some women especially crying and shouting, screaming during meditations. They go just berserk somehow. There could be many other reasons also. So consciousness, when it collapses within yourself, in yoga we call it a state of samadhi. But according to Babaji Maharaj, samadhi is just the first stepping stone. We have to go further beyond all that. Samadhi, where you are losing your complete awareness at one moment, and where you are still having some level of awareness. That's the most beautiful thing that can happen to anyone. That is called Turyatit state in Yoga Shastras. Now, when that awareness is also collapsing that you are lost, then you feel as if for a moment you are dead. So in a way, practicing meditation is a training somehow of dying consciously. At the moment of death, you have no fear then. You are always ready. If it comes tomorrow, why tomorrow? If it comes now, hallelujah, so be it. I am ready. Because there is no fear. And you have already experienced that collapsed state of samadhi, the consciousness. And death is not very different from it. In fact, death is a sudden explosion from that collapsed state of consciousness to enormous thing. It's like a small amount of water in a cup suddenly becomes a huge cloud occupying the whole sky. So yogi of that caliber somehow is everywhere. His consciousness, his awareness is everywhere. It's the practice that can prepare us for such a moment. Believe in ghosts and they believe in spirits. They believe in the spirits of grandfather and great-grandfather and elders. When we look at such things, do you believe or you don't believe? When you ask me that question, I would say, yes, I do believe in all that. I do believe that spirits are there. I do believe that ghosts are there. I do believe that elders' soul can guide us. Now, in order to take the benefit of great souls, elders who are willing to guide you, what should be my role in the whole equation? What should be my preparedness so that I can receive the guidance according to their desire? Sometimes they say something and you don't listen properly. Even when you are, let us say, face to face with your father who may be alive, your mother who is alive, and she says, do this, boy, or my dear daughter. Do you really do it? Even when you hear it with your ears? No, you don't. Often we fight, isn't it? We fight with Papa and Mommy. So, no, I will not do it. And when they are no more with us, or our grandfather wants to tell something to us, Papa is talking to us in the form of spirit. When you are meditating and all of a sudden some understanding comes in your heart that somebody is trying to talk to me, right? How would you get that message? How would you be confident enough to say, yes, this was the message? I don't say it's easy. It's going to be difficult. But our preparation should be, I should be pure in the heart. I should be reciprocating that and respecting that I can respect my elderly great-great-grandfather whom I have never seen, and they want to guide me. Am I prepared for all that? So, heartfulness way of meditation, I don't say that it plays with spirits and ghosts, etc., but it prepares for everything. Whenever circumstances so arises that some elderly soul who may not be related to me wants to guide me, they can guide us when our heart is quiet, when our heart is not demanding, when our heart is pure and unselfish.